Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean Smith, and we're going to talk about tonight's win against the Ottawa Senators. Now, things here in the studio, in the office here, getting a little bit back to normal, getting a little bit back on track, and the Predators are getting a little bit back on track. And that's what we want to talk about is the Predators now have a 4-game win streak, and that's nothing to laugh about. It's nothing to scoff at. They're doing what they need to do to get the job done on the ice. Saros is getting some goal support. As you can see, the offense numbers have gone up dramatically over the last few games. Combine that with Saros and Lankinen putting on great performances in the net, and you're left with 4 games in a row. Now here's the beautiful thing about it. Going into this winning streak, before the Predators started down this path of 4 wins in a row, I was writing articles, I was saying things about how the Predators were scoring more, but, realistically, UC Saros was the one that was keeping them in these games, and that unless they started doing more on the ice, things weren't going to go so well. Now, we talked about how the Predators had only been beating bad teams, and they've put on a couple of performances recently that show that they're able to hang with the big dogs. Now, that's a good thing if you want to see the Predators win. And certainly as a fan, you want to see them win. A lot of people are cheering for their team to go ahead and tank at a chance at rebuilding and having a better draft pick, and I understand where that perspective comes from. However, if you're a fan of the team, surely you want to see them win. Well, right now, you're getting to see UC Saros play some incredible minutes, some incredible games, making some incredible saves. And that record-setting performance the other night certainly shows you 2 things. One, Saros is at the top of his game. Now, if you kind of overlook the beginning of the season and maybe some of the results that didn't yield wins for him, although they were great performances, could he be back in Vezina contention? I feel like right now he's playing at that level. Now, the bad thing about allowing that many shots on goal and even saving that many shots on goal was that the Predators allowed that many shots on goal. And so that's telling you that on some level, when they come up against a fast team that shoots a lot, they're going to have a hard time suppressing those shots. And when they suppress those shots, it comes down to the goaltender, and that night it was Saros, to do the job for them. And he performed up to standard. He did exactly what he needed to do, and the Predators put the goals on the board to make sure that he got the win. Look at this game tonight. 3-0 win, could have been 4-1 because of 2 disallowed goals, 1 for each team. But Saros stood strong. There were a couple of hairy situations. He got the Preds out of it, and they had the goals to support him. Now, moving forward, they're going to have to keep playing in a way that suppresses those shots, keeps people from getting in front of Saros and giving him a fair chance on the net. He's not going to have a 64 save performance every night when you come up against a hot team. At the same time, the Predators are going to have to find some more scoring. Yes, 3 goals was nice tonight. One of them, a little bit bloopy. Well, I'm not really sure that one went off of Lazon's stick or his body. I still feel like Jeannot should be getting credit for that goal, but it remains to be seen whether or not that will happen. But you're starting to see a little bit of scoring support from the depth, whether that was Jeannot or Lauzon. Those guys are farther down on the pairings and in the order of lines. Therefore, it's nice to see them get on the board, but you're still seeing support coming from your usual suspects, Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi. They're not having career seasons this year. They're going to have some other guys on that team step up, especially down the lines, and of course the guys who are sitting at the top of the salary schedule as well. These guys need to score. If those guys can start scoring and Saros can continue putting on the performances that he's been putting on, and the defense can step it up and stop so many shots from getting to Saros or to head them off before they make it that close, the team has a good chance to make a good run. Now, I don't mean a Stanley Cup run. I mean a run where they're going to have some solid wins against good teams. Because if we look back at the beginning of the season, what they did not have were wins against good teams. They had a lot of wins against bad teams. They called it out on the broadcast that people were saying it, but it's hard to argue with the fact that that was true going into the last few games, that they were able to pull off big wins against good teams. Now, that doesn't mean that they're totally out of the woods yet. They've still got big games against good teams coming up, and they're going to have their goaltender performing at peak level, and they're going to have to get guys to start scoring as well. Again, it's hard to look at a 4-game win streak and say, well, they're going to have to do better. But the cold, hard reality is that unless Saros stays playing at this level and you continue getting those goals, the team's going to face trouble. That's true of any team, I suppose. If the goaltender is not able to stop all the shots coming his way and his teammates aren't scoring goals to help support him, then I guess every team's in trouble. But the reality is we've seen what this team has done historically. I'm more than happy to let them rest on their laurels of this 4-game win streak, and hopefully they can keep it going. But just keep in mind that this is the same team that put together a long string of losses and a lot of ugly losses to a lot of good teams, middle-of-the-road teams, and a few bad teams as well. Charlie, this seems like show 700, and it seems like a time to celebrate. So I want to say congratulations to you on your dedication to this, an incredible run of 700 episodes. And I want to talk about we're going back, you and I, probably to the mid 400s. Been an incredible run. Love doing the show. Love doing the show with you. Love doing the show for all the renegades out there. I cherish the time we spent together, recorded here on the air, and of course the times we've gotten to hang out in person, all the different events we've been to, all the fun hockey games we've been able to enjoy together. That's all I got for tonight, Charlie. I'm going to send it back over to you.